This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Wednesday, October 12th, and today's pod is the best one yet.
TBOY!
It is a TBOY. What's going on, man?
But first, JP Morgan's legendary CEO, Jamie Dimon, said that he thinks we're getting a recession in 6 months.
Jamie!
So stocks fell their 5th day in a row, and you got a big inflation report coming today.
Jamie thinks we're getting a recession. Jack and I think we're getting a T-Boy. Jack, what's our first story today?
We're jumping in T-Boy style to the most important retail chain in the country right now, Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween. They make $600 million in 2 months.
That is frightening.
That is scary.
For our second story, Delta just invested millions of dollars into Joby, a flying taxi company.
Because Yetis, there is no better feeling than flying over traffic to the airport.
And our third and final story, if you want to know TikTok's next move, just look at their career website.
TikTok is hiring up to take down Amazon.
But before we hit that wonderful mix,
This
Nick,
is honestly my favorite mix we've ever done, Jack. This is a wild mix.
should I pay for dinner or split the check?
Jack, should I get flowers or not get flowers? Too get flowers? Too many flowers?
Am I wearing too much cologne?
Can I smell that? I can kind of smell it.
The typical stresses of the first date.
Yeti's the number one stress in the dating game right now. It's debt.
Get this. According to LendingTree, 22% of millennials are going into debt because of dates.
Yeah, you got IOUs in the pursuit of I love yous.
Almost 1 in 4 millennials are in debt because of Tinder.
1 out of 4 millennials drop in credit scores because of Grindr.
Now, Yetis, dating has always been expensive.
Good point, Jack. Like the silent generation, they paid big money to watch silent films.
And boomers, they were dropping bank to watch Blue Man Group on Broadway.
It was an instant classic. But inflation, it's making the candlelit dinner even more expensive for today's daters.
Inflation. You're paying $8 for the pre-dinner get-to-know-you drinks.
But Jack, then you're paying $18 for the post-dinner confirm if they're normal drinks.
We're swiping right, then swiping credit cards.
Besties, you're interested in them, and then you're paying interest on them.
To quote Bad Girl Riri, I fell in love in a hopeless place.
Yeah, and that hopeless place is the monthly Amex statement after all those dates.
J-Lo was wrong. My love does cost a thing.
So, Jack, what's our takeaway for our buddies who are going on dates tonight?
Don't think of it as a cost. This is an investment.
Even a picnic date, that's going to cost you a paycheck right now.
But love, it's never inflation adjusted.
Jack, let's hit our 3 lovely stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, we just dove in T-Boy style to the seasonal store Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween may be the ultimate store. Nick, they bring in $600 million in just 60 days.
It's scary. It's scary stuff. Okay, but first of all, Jack, do we have a plan? What are we going to wear this year? Do we know what we're going to do?
I was going to be Wendy's drive-thru and just be really slow all night.
I'll do the Chick-fil-A one. I'll be really fast. Let's be running around. I guess we could do a slammin' salmon, like 2 salmon.
Well, a group of salmon is called a slammin', right?
You be the hazelnut pump, I'll be the Darlene, or vice versa. We can work this out, Jack. In the meantime, Yetis, you got 3 weeks to Halloween, which means we all have CDP, costume decision paralysis.
So we got to talk Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, we got to talk Spirit Halloween because Jack, like you, me, everyone, we've seen those Spirit Halloween stores.
It's that random place on the strip mall that appears like a jack-o'-lantern exploded.
It's a costume store that comes out of nowhere once a year. It's like the Stephen King of retail.
It drips Halloween like a melting mouthful of Kit Kats.
But here's what Jack and I find fascinating, Yetis. This Spirit Halloween, it's not just a store. No. Spirit Halloween is a phenomenon.
$600 million in Halloween costume sales, even though they're only open 2 months a year.
That is $10 million a day. That is $16,000 every minute. We did some math while we were researching this story.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
That's because nearly 1 out of 5 costumes every year is bought at Spirit Halloween.
Okay, Spirit Halloween is Halloween.
Oh, and that Spirit Halloween sign you saw in the strip mall, it's not a sign at all. It's a temporary nylon banner they hang up there with duct tape.
Jack, this chain literally dresses up for Halloween just like us. And it's actually kind of a metaphor for how they optimize everything.
So here's how Spirit Halloween makes double the revenue of Allbirds, even though it's only open 2 months a year.
Now, legendary Yeti Srini Sankar pointed us to the research by Trung Phan, who gave us a little bit more perspective on Spirit Halloween.
Well, Spirit began with one location in California 40 years ago.
Yeah, they only sold costumes for 1 month.
October.
But sales were a bumping for that 1 month.
And here's the insight from 40 years ago. If you're only open a month or two, the customer is going to feel urgency.
We do.
And the result is they'll pay more.
That's the costume decision paralysis. Basically, the more limited the products, the more lucrative the potential.
If you want to get that sexy clown costume,
Which we all do.
well, you decided months ago, but the store hasn't been there.
There's no Spirit Halloween.
So when it finally opens for that 2-month window, you'll pay anything to finally get the costume.
You'll pay a premium to be that sexy clown.
And since Halloween is an annual holiday, that spending becomes an annual tradition.
That's just Spirit Halloween's revenues. We think the more interesting story is Spirit Halloween's costs.
Here's the strange thing. The worse the rest of retail does, the better Spirit Halloween does.
Spirit is thriving in retail graveyards. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Spirit Halloween?
Spirit is ironically thriving thanks to zombie retail.
Okay, now technically, Yeti, Spirit is only open 2 months out of the year, but their real estate arm operates year-round.
That's right. You crunched the last candy corn on October 31st.
We did.
The next day, Spirit's real estate team is doing deals.
Yeah, they got 14 leasing agents scouring the country looking for empty storefronts where they can stick a Spirit next year.
But it must fit a strict criteria.
And Jack, what is that strict criteria?
There can be no more than 50,000 square feet in the store.
Exactly.
And there have to be 35,000 people living within 5 miles.
And they even count the cars that are driving by.
At least 25,000 cars must pass the storefront every day. They count.
And then Spirit pays rock bottom rent to take over some empty store space for 2 months.
That's why the empty Circuit City became a Spirit Halloween for 2 months last year.
And Jack, that's why that abandoned David's Bridal is selling zombie bride costumes right now.
E-commerce is killing physical stores.
It is.
But they temporarily come back to life as Spirit Halloween.
Spirit's life force is the death of retail.
It's thriving thanks to zombie storefronts.
For our second story, Delta is investing in an electric air taxi startup to fix the hellish pit hole that is getting to the airport.
This is an investment in the first impression.
Ah, Yeti's Delta, the premier Biscoff cookie distributor. I'm sorry, it's airline. It just invested $60 million in a company called Joby.
Joby. It's a publicly traded aviation company.
And Jack, what does Joby do exactly?
Electric air taxis.
Electric air taxis. We're talking about contraptions like Leonardo da Vinci stuff where it lifts off and sets down kind of like a helicopter.
The big difference is in between. In between, it's going to turn the propellers 90 degrees so it flies like an old propeller airplane.
It's a cousin of a helicopter.
Yes, but it has 6 spinning propellers, not just the one big one overhead.
Right. So it looks like a helicopter flown by a pilot, and it's got room for 4 passengers, some luggage, and a little bag for your little puppy who's coming on the trip.
The key word they use, though, is taxi. So unlike a helicopter, this will pick you up close to or at your home. Details are TBD.
Now, the other key word is air taxi, because you're going to fly over the traffic.
The third key word is electric.
Electric.
So while you're flying over the traffic, you feel less guilty about flying over all the traffic.
I mean, I feel bad, but it feels so good.
Now, Yeti's Delta isn't just investing in this helicopter electric taxi company.
No, they're not.
They're also planning to add Joby's rides to the checkout process.
That's right. Delta announced plans to incorporate Joby air taxi rides to the airport from your home for premium passengers.
This all starts with 2 airports, the ones that are most traveled by Delta's Platinum Medallion crowd.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going from JFK to LAX and you've got unobtainium status, like any kind of precious metal that's really, really rare, that means you can probably do this.
Starting probably in the next couple of years, they didn't say when, you'll be able to book a flight on Delta to or from those 2 airports. And at the end, you'll be able to add a Joby pickup from your home for a price that, I don't know, $500.
If your Sky Miles gem is not on the periodic tables, then you cannot do this kind of a ride. It's super premium.
And both JFK and LAX, those terminals have been newly redesigned. So they're probably ready for these Joby helicopter things to land right near the gate.
All right, so visualize this, Jack. An air taxi is going to land near your home, and then you're going to show up at the gate at JFK like you're Bruce Wayne.
You're going to have a separate TSA. You're probably not taking your shoes off or pulling your laptop out.
Shoes, you kidding? I'm
There's
keeping them.
no line. You might even walk up the steps right to the airplane instead of taking that ramp from Gate 43B.
Boom, you avoid all the friction and you're already at Gate 43B.
CEO Ed Bastian calls this a time-saving, uniquely premium home-to-airport solution.
But the way Jack and I see it, it's something deeper. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Delta and Joby?
This is an investment in the first impression.
Besties, research shows that the first impression is what determines your overall experience, especially in hospitality.
And first impressions, they're formed in the first 15 minutes you get there.
That's why hotels go overboard and like dazzle you in the first 15 minutes with cookies, mints, and a towel that's folded like a koala bear.
It's not just a bear. It's a koala bear towel doll.
But for airlines, here's the problem. They don't encounter you until 2 hours into your awful voyage to the airport.
The first impression, that's the stress of loading up the car the night before, the frustration of waiting 2 hours in traffic, and the pain of finding a parking spot.
And then TSA scans your laptop for the 7th time. Beep, beep. Then you're schlepping luggage to the gate. I already took my shoes off, sir.
Airlines have always been the last impression of your air travel journey, not the first.
But if Delta can get you at your door with this Joby thing, then Delta reclaims the first impression.
That's why this is really an investment in the first impression. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
You know, honestly, your salad, it says so much about you.
Nick, you like to blaze your own trail at the salad bar.
Yeah, I'm ordering a salad. I go off menu, man. Like a combo of kale and croutons that has never been made before.
Me? I'm not reinventing the wheel. I like to go classic.
Like if Sweet Green thinks it's a good combo, Jack's not going to change that.
Kind of like investing strategies. Some want to build a custom portfolio of stocks, crypto, and options.
Others don't want to reinvent. Just give me the most standard ETF.
Whether you're tweaking your one-of-a-kind portfolio every day or prefer a more hands-off approach, Robinhood has the tools.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy to choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Stocks offered by Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto.
All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
For our third and final story, TikTok's job board shows what TikTok really wants to do next.
It appears TikTok is hiring to become the next Amazon.
What do we always say about this stuff?
If you want to know where a company's going, look at its job board.
Yetis, the career page. It is the crystal ball of a company's business plans.
It's the Nostradamus of new ideas.
If you look at who a company hires, that's going to reveal their priorities.
And Axios just noticed yesterday 12 job postings for TikTok on LinkedIn.
Now, here's the interesting thing. It looks like the next TikTok division isn't going to be online or focused on algorithms or anything really even that digital.
It's the opposite, actually.
Get this.
All 12 of those jobs were related to provide warehousing, delivery, and customer service returns.
Okay, Jack, that's an exact quote from the job post, isn't it?
TikTok, the app, is building U.S. fulfillment centers like it's Amazon.
Or as TikTok put it in the rest of their job post, we want to ensure fast and sustainable growth of TikTok Shop.
TikTok
Shop.
Now, just in case you weren't sure that the job page is a window into a company's future,
Get this quote also from TikTok's job board.
we believe TikTok is the ideal platform to deliver a brand new e-commerce experience.
Boom. It's like reading slide 6 in the pitch deck that they only keep for the executives.
Now, Yetis, TikTok isn't just trying to sell some TikTok user mascara.
No, this is an international e-commerce operation, baby.
TikTok is building a cross-border clearing customs made in China sold to TikToking teens in Texas operation.
Oh, and Jack, should we call up all the Yetis over in Chicago?
We must, because TikTok is even hiring logistics solutions managers.
Boom. If you worked at FedEx or UPS, step on down.
Now, it's not hard, actually, to imagine this TikTok shopping thing competing pretty well with Amazon.
In fact, Jack and I were talking about it while we were preparing the pod, and we think, you know what? TikTok actually has a big advantage.
Amazon's 5-star review system, we've reported a couple times recently, it's kind of corrupted those ratings.
But Jack, let's say you want to buy that sundress for next spring. It's never too early.
You could look at Amazon's 4.5 rating, which is suspect.
What is this, amateur hour?
Or you can watch a video of someone trying it on TikTok.
That's a way more authentic product review. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at TikTok?
Your attention is a foot in the door to your everything.
Yetis, it is easy to think about TikTok's competition as only Instagram, YouTube, and like a bunch of other video apps.
But what TikTok really takes up is your focus, your time, your attention.
And because TikTok has hours of your attention already, it can compete way beyond social media.
For example, for Gen Z, TikTok is the search engine of choice. It beats Google.
Oh, we sat down, stood up, and sat back down again. We repeat, teens aren't Googling, they're TikToking for online search.
Now TikTok is trying to translate your attention into your shopping too.
Because your attention is a foot in the door to your everything. Jack, can you whip up the takeaways for us over there?
Spirit Halloween is a September and October annual retail phenomenon.
It's a Halloween store, ironically thriving on zombie stores.
For our second story, Delta is working on electric air taxis.
It's an investment in the first impression.
And our third and final story, TikTok is hiring logistics people, probably out of Chicago, to compete with Amazon.
Because your attention is a foot in the door to your everything. Now, time for the best fact yet. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey Yetis, this is Ryan Jones coming to you from the Bay Area with the best fact yet. This one is chemistry focused. In the early 1800s, Sir Humphrey Davy isolated a new metallic substance that he called aluminum. 4 years later, he updated the name in a publication to aluminum, which Americans continue to call it today. But other British chemists at the time didn't like the spelling of aluminum, as it went against the naming conventions of other elements Sir Davy isolated like sodium, calcium, and potassium. So the British chemists added an I to make it aluminium for consistency.
And that's why we call it aluminum, and the Brits call it aluminium.
Also, aluminium. It's had 3 different names.
Yeah.
It's like Eminem, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady.
And a fourth if you include the Delta status.
aluminum medallion status. I don't think that's a thing.
Customer service told me it was a thing, Jack. Yetis, you look fantastic for this Wednesday. And remember, if you're going on a date tonight, you're going to pay more, so you may as well say HYHTBOY.
Have you had the best one yet?
That's how we grow the pod. If you know, you know.
Nick and I'll see you tomorrow.
Can't wait. And before we go, congratulations to Mike and Casey Gerzadas, who are celebrating 3 years of marriage, 6 years of fun, and 1 year of T-boying in St. Louis.
I like that one.
I like that one.
And happy 1 year anniversary to Trey and Sydney down in North Carolina.
We also like that one. 1 year of fun, baby.
And happy birthday to Rebecca Lazier in Chicago.
Logistics. And Heian Wu, happy birthday and last semester of business school over in San Francisco.
And happy 47th birthday to Saturday Night Live down in Rockefeller Center.
And Joel Gutierrez, happy birthday in Van Nuys, California.
Celebrating with Nick's favorite, cake.
We all love cake. And a happy 1 year birthday to the downtown proper Los Angeles Hotel in downtown LA with a fantastic breakfast, Jack.
We're going to stay there on our next LA trip.
We are.
And we're using promo code T-Boy. We'll see if it works.
And all we're eating is almond butter banana bread breakfast.
And to anyone else celebrating something today, make it a T-Boy.
Celebrate the wins.
This is Jack. I own stock of Amazon, and Nick and I both own stock of Robinhood. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
Okay, so Jack and I both worked in finance for a while.
And we know the 6-monitor Bloomberg jockey with charts, numbers, balances, and more charts.
They got coffees in both hands while they're executing some complex trade on a soybean future.
Well, we're not trying to impress with our mission control trading center. Just give us an app, please.
Robinhood, with its mobile-first and intuitive design, it lets you trade with just a few quick taps on their app.
And even if things still don't seem easy, Robinhood has your back 24/7 with its live and robust customer support.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned by or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.